Alright, let's make sure this works before I go any further. That's doing that. I'm gonna move that up here. And we're gonna make it big until I need the dice. Right. When I need the dice, all I do is go BAM! Dice. Do. Alright, so it looks like everything is working. You don't have a picture of me tonight, you have a picture of my character sheet. I also have a digital version right here, just so you guys can follow along. This is the digital version I found of Star Wars Age of Rebellion role-playing core rulebook, which I have over in the corner. I'll do this over that way. I just can't show it on screen well enough to create a character with everybody. So this is what I'm doing. Now, actually, oh god. Let me zoom in. There we go. A little too far, but perfect. So here we go. When you start, the first thing you have to do is decide how your character is going to be. Is it going to be rebel? Is it going to be scum and villainy? Or neutral? You don't have to be a scum, or you don't have to be a per se bad guy. You can be a good smuggler. You can be a good bounty hunter. That kind of thing. There's different aspects of that you can do. So that's what you have to decide when creating the character, because that'll determine how your character is created. So normally the way I put it with my group is, if you guys are going to be all working together, everybody needs to come to an agreement of how they want to be. You guys that don't want to be a part of the rebellion can still be like freelancers, and you would pretty much be how I described it to them, because not everybody in my group understands Star Wars. Would be, you guys are bounty hunters taking a job, and you're doing the job. And your bounty hunter doesn't have to necessarily be a soldier. You could be a technician, you could be everything else that we'll get into here in a minute. And for those who want to be rebels, I'll just be like, look, you're rebels, deal with it, and don't get caught by the Empire. Now, there is the duty system. I actually don't use this at all. Why? It got a little confusing when trying to explain it to some people, so I just said, alright, we won't explain that. You won't roll to figure it out and everything. But from there, you come and you select your species. That is the cool thing, is each book that I have has different species in it, and well, you can do different things with that. So this one, we have Bothan, Droid, Duros, and Gran. And each species, so this is the Bothans. That's what this is. At the end of their backstory, so you can read up on them. It's roughly a page. You can read up on them through this part here and this part right here. And then you can look at what you get whenever you go to create your character, which is this part. So I'm going to zoom in, and we are going to look at that. Alright. So the Bothans, they get 1 in brawn. Brawn is what you use for when you want to hit things. And I'm going to look, you're going to hear my chair squeak a minute, but I am going to look at my character sheet. So it is used for brawl, melee, athletics, resilience. I think that's everything. So anything that you need physical strength for, that's what that ability is used for. Agility is for your gun shooting, what else is it? Coordination, piloting, anything you need like hand-eye coordination, or you're doing some fancy maneuver. Let's say you're trying to sneak up behind somebody. Well, you need agility so you don't trip and fall on something or snap a twig, and they hear you. You know, that kind of stuff. Next is your intellect. That is based on most of the knowledge skills. So if we look at this real quick, so right in here, I'm gonna zoom in some more. This is what I'm looking at on the camera on this thing here. This is where your intellect comes into play. It's how you know things, pretty much. That's the easiest way I can explain it. And then same with your medicine, your mechanics, your computers, your astrogation. I call it astronavigation all the time. But it's, you know, what you have to use your brain for to understand. So, ooh, didn't want to zoom out that far. Next is your cunning, which I'll just go back over to this and show you. That's like your perception, your deception, your skullduggery, streetwise, and survival. Those are all, you're using your wits to survive, that kind of stuff. So, if you want to sweet talk people or lie out your butt, you pick that. Or you want that skill high. Next is your willpower. So if we come back over here, that's discipline, cohesion, I can't talk, and vigilance. But that's, what's the best way? I guess it would be just you have the will to be able to stick it out. I guess that's the easiest way with discipline is you're doing something that it may cause you to not want to do, or you really don't want to do it, but you have to be disciplined in your action to get through the skill. I get nobody really uses those abilities so far in my group, so that's the weird one to use. And presence, which is like leadership. You're cool. This also goes on with if you want to use like a deception or a perception. Like you're Han Solo, you just said something really slick, smooth, you know, but you want to look cool while you do it. So that's what you need this skill for. Is like you just shake your hands out and go whatever. That's what that skill or that trait is used for, and the skill-wise stuff. And besides that, you also get to look at your wound threshold, which is how many hit points you have, your strain threshold, which is how much strain your brain can take before you get, you freak out. So the wound is all about getting hit, the strain is all about getting stressed out. Next, you look at your starting experience, which this one has 100. And then you look at special abilities, which Bothans begin the game with 1 rank in Streetwise, and you cannot train Streetwise above rank 2 during character creation. They also start with with 1 rank in Convincing Demeanor talent, which we'll get into all that here shortly. But I'm going to zoom back out on this, and we're going to go through here. The droids can be rather challenging. We've had a couple of people try to play them, and usually whenever we have a droid show up, it's like an NPC, and I deck it out on a bunch of stuff, and we go from there on that. So here's the stats for the Duros. You can see the difference. Come back up here. So the cunning is 3 on the Bothans, and the cunning is 2 on the Duros. And let's see. Besides that, the 3 is an intellect for them. So you'll always have something. Was it 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? I think you have 12 points total for your skills on most everybody. At least for most of the races. I haven't really looked into that. But we are going to do humans. So here's the humans right here. I'm going to zoom back in. Boop, boop, too. Oh, too far. Alright, so again, if you're just joining, this is a digital version of the Age of Rebellion rulebook. I have it over in the corner. I just can't show it that easily on camera. You see how dark this is. And so it's just easier to do it this way. Now, to begin with, we're going to come over here to the character sheet and come up to the top. So first off, you want a character name. Whatever you want to name it. I'm going to name mine Zen Gray. So that's what your character name is. Your species is what we have on here. So we are humans, so we're going to write that down. Career we're not at yet, and specialization tree we're not at yet, so we'll go through each thing as we get to it. So now we're going to write down our stats. All these stats will go into these boxes here, all the way across. And then after that, we'll fill out strain and wound. So I am going to come back over here. I'm going to write this down. And the reason why I like playing humans is your stats are generically even across the board. That's why I usually pick them. There's a couple times where I've picked Mamkala and Wookiee, I think, for a couple of my characters. But with this, we also see wound threshold is 10 plus, strain is 10 plus. So I'm just gonna write 10 plus B, 10 plus W. And the reason why I'm doing that is because we have 110 XP to actually use. And where I'm gonna write that at is right down in this corner here. And your total XP, and then on the opposite corner right here I'm going to write that same number. The reason why we're doing that is because you want to keep track of all of this. Usually, since I don't do the duty skill tree, whenever everybody makes their character up, as soon as they get their initial XP spent, one of my house rules is I'll figure out how much, let's say, everybody has. And if somebody has more than somebody else, we'll even it out so everybody starts with the same amount of XP. Now that we got this down, it says the human starts the game with 1 rank and 2 different non-career skills of their choice. Okay. Now, to figure out what that is, we got to pick a career. So, we are going to look at the different careers. So, first off, we have Ace, which is a pilot. Commander, which is a leader. Diplomat, well, you know, is a diplomat. Engineer, they fix things or modify things. Soldier, spy, and recruit. What I am going to do, I'm going to look at the Ace real quick. And I'm going to pick this pilot tree. So in here, right underneath the name of the tree, we have career skills. What we're going to do is we're going to go through these skills here, and I'm going to put either an X or a check mark in this middle column here, because that lets you know what is a career skiller and what isn't. So cool. Gunnery. Also, the note on this is all your non-combat stuff. On that side, this is all your knowledge-based skills, and this is all your combat-based skills. But your skill trees list them in alphabetical order, just to make that clear for everybody. And then we have mechanics, perception, piloting for both, and range light. Bonus career skills. I got both those, or all those. Alright, so with that being done, we're going to go back to the species here for a second. So here we go, humans. We start the game at 2 different ranks and 9 career skills. So we just marked down what our career skills are. Now I got to look at this and find out what do I want that isn't a part of that. I'm going to say range heavy. It's 2 ranks total, right? Oh, 1 ranking. Okay, so range heavy gets 1. And then I'm gonna put 1 in charm. Well, yeah. Alright, now that I have that done, let's go back to pilot, or ace. Alright, so now that we have that picked out, we can write on the skill tree at the top, what is our careers? Well, we picked ace, so you write down ace. Then our specialization tree is pilot. And now the top part of your character tree right here, it should all be filled out. And all you do on this part right here is you write your character, or your actual name down. So if your dungeon masters or game master holds on to your sheets, they know who the person is. Right, so we got that done. Now this, I'm gonna do this for a second so we can zoom in. Now you have these here, which are your talents. Each talent has a point cost and a line going through it. So in theory, if you want to get anything out of this row, you got to start at the one above it, go down, come over, or go, you know, say if I get this, I can go here, here, or here afterwards. I won't be able to get to these 2, or these 3 actually, until you get all the way down here and start coming back up. Or you also, you know, grab ones from the other side. So that's one thing to note. The other thing is the passive and active. So active is red, passive is blue or black, depending on what color you see right there. Now let's take an example at active. So let's look at, well, let's write here. Once per round, may mount or dismount a vehicle or beast, or enter a cockpit or weapon station on a vehicle as an incidental. So I'm assuming that means you can mount or enter and exit a vehicle or weapon station just as a free action. That's the way I understand that. In each, I'll say because I'm not the smartest, you know, person out there, I could be interpreting that as a different thing than other people who understand this better. But that's the fun thing about playing this, in my opinion, is when I run games, I interpret the way things act with, you know, like that ability. I interpret that different than somebody else anyway. It's been stated online probably, you know, exactly how that plays out. But out of my friends group, we try to just use the books only and go off of that. Prime example, I guess would be for this. So I play my games really loose and free. I have a general idea what we're doing. The characters or the players decide how they want to go. I had another friend who ran a campaign in this system and had it written out, drawn out, drew out a big old giant map, and said, "No, you guys have to do what I want. There's no open wiggle room at all." And that's the last time one of my last groups played. So you gotta kind of get used to the flow of things, in my opinion. That's how you run a good game. Is you have a lot of wiggle room. You're willing to go out of the script that you have made up, and you can wing it easier. I guess that's the easiest way to do it. But the last thing to note is each of the costs go up. So it goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And I think that's how it works on the skills. We'll get to that here in a minute. Bring that back over. So now that we got that picked out, let's look at our skill points. So I'm going to zoom in. And the thing I was just looking at right here is each skill has 5 ranks of training available. A player character may or might have already acquired several ranks of skill training from his starting career and specialization for free. Player characters may train additional skill points and gain additional ranks during character creation. However, it is important to note that regardless of any species or career bonuses, no skill can be raised higher than 2 ranks during character creation. The cost of training skills fall into 1 or 2 categories. Career skills, the ones you put the X on your sheet, and non-career skills, the ones that I got for free as being a human. Where was I at? The player should have check marks next to a number of skills based on his character's starting career and specialization. Training as a career skill is to the next highest rank costs 5 times the rank it is being raised to. For example, a career skill rank 0 untrained to rank 1 costs 5 experience points. So, to explain that the easiest way, if it is, let me come back over here. So for our character, range light, this one right here, we have an X on there. So I have it down here on the page, and if I want to put skill points in it, it will cost 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Does that make sense? A player character can also purchase non-skill points. Each rank for a non-skill or non-career skill costs 5 times the rank it is being raised, plus 5 additional experience points. For example, training a non-career skill from 0 to rank 1 costs 10. So, we'll come back over here and we'll look at heavy, because I got 1 free rank in there from my starting of my character. With that being said, if I didn't have that there, it would cost 10 points for this first one. 20? Did I read that right? So it's 5 times the plus additional button. Okay, no, it's 15. That's right. So it goes 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So if it's not a career skill, it'll be 5 points more for each one you train in. Alright? But that's not all you can do with your experience points. You can improve your characteristics, or your the numbers we got based off of our species. And this is the only time you can do it, I believe. You cannot raise any number above 5 during The course of play, no character can increase it higher than 6. And you cannot increase it anytime later during gameplay. However, characteristics can be increased by purchasing special talents, such as dedication. So, how much does it cost? Well, for the example they have here, if I want to increase my brawn from 3 to 4, it requires 40 points. So, the way I describe it, so 1 to 2 is 20, 2 to 3 is 30. So you would just pick the last number. So if it's 1 to 2, you'd pick 2 and then add a 0. Or add, times it by 10. Okay. So now I got my calculator open. We're going to enter 110. And I'm going to look at my skills now. Let's come back over the character sheet. My main skills are piloting, which is agility. Combat has ranged and gunnery, which is also agility. But I also need astrogation. I want some brawn. And I want some presence because I want to be cool. So our numbers are 2 across the board. So to go from 2 to 3 on agility would be 30 points. So I'm going to subtract 30 from 110. So we have 80 left. So I'm going to now go to brawn and do the same thing. Minus 30. Oh god. 60. So we have 50 left. Now, I can say, alright, well, forget the intellect and cunning. I'm fine with the 2. Same with the presence. I can add 1 more to agility if I want to. And that would leave me with 10 points left over. And actually, I might do that. So we're going to go from 3 on agility here up to 4. So we would have 10 XP left over. Now there's a reason why I'm doing this, because all the characters I have, I like to do more damage than anything else. Only certain characters I build that are real tanky, I guess it would be. So, alright. We have the points done for our characteristics. We cannot raise anymore, because that would go from 0 to 1, which we can't do because we don't have any zeros. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to figure out what our wound and strain threshold is with our equations that I wrote in the character sheet. So, we do one thing here. I'm going to take the camera and zoom it in a little bit more. So, like, one for wound right here, where my mouse is on the screen, I hope. There we go. Right there. That is 10 plus brawn, so that'd be 30. And you would write it in both of these, so the threshold never gets erased unless it increases. And the current is the one you keep track of, and so I would write 30 again. And that is the one you erase as you get hit. So now we're going to go to strain. And that is 10 plus willpower, so that'd be 20. And now we have 10 XP to spend. What are we going to spend it on? Well, I'm going to put 5 points in piloting on space and piloting on planetary. So, there goes my phone case. Let's put that up on the table. So that, as you hear everything like creak and moan, would be right here. So that'd be right here. And then I just erase how much XP I have left, and we are done with that. So, and this goes into how to determine your strain. I gotta look at the soak value real quick. That's the last thing we have to do. So the soak value determines how much incoming damage you can shrug off before being seriously wounded. The soak value is subtracted from any incoming damage, and a player's default soak value is equal to the brawn rating. So our brawn is 3, our soak value is 3. Pretty nifty. And that is right there on your character sheet. So it'd be right here. Now again, another thing I don't do is motivation, really. I let my friends tell me what they want their character to be. So again, you have some of my friends who want to just do combat. You have some of my friends that want to try to help people by fixing up their equipment. Ooh, I needed a drink. I was afraid that bottle wasn't a pop, so I had to mute that. So that I really let them do. You can technically roll a D100, get the result, and then pick from this chart right here. Next is gear. So there we go. Oh. Initial credits that a character starts with is 500 credits, and you may use that to buy your initial gear. Any leftover credits are kept for you. Now, I personally say, alright, you got 500. Sometimes I give people 1,000, depending on if we have enough people to fill out a group. So if we don't, I'll give you more money to make up the difference for the people. And what we're going to do is we're going to come here to gear, and we're going to look at, let me see, oh, that's the one I wanted. So here are your weapons that we have in this book. The first one is a holdout blaster, and when you look at this, we'll use that as the main example. So the first one you have right here, it says it uses the skill range light for the holdout blaster. So you look, are you trained in that? Yes, you are. So that'd be an okay one to get. Well, then you go over here and you see the damage. Okay, damage is 5. It's not bad. It's not good. The heavy blaster pistol is 7, but you know, that's alright. But your crit is 4. That heavy blaster is 3. Alright, so the crit is, you need more to hit, and you need less to hit for that. Next we have a range, which is short. Alright, so this heavy blaster pistol is medium, so it's a little further away. So it sounds like this heavy blaster pistol might be better for us. Oh wait, look at this right here. So heavy blaster pistol, encumbrance is 2, holdout is 1. But heavy blaster has 3 hit points, and the holdout has 1. Hit points mean how many modifications you can do to it, and each modification takes a certain number of hit points. Then finally we have price, which is 700, 200, rarity, which is 4, and 7. And then finally, what kind of special skills they have on. So it you know, and usually when I tell people how much they have, they usually spend it all on 2 things: blaster rifle, pistol, one of those 2 things, and then armor. So I'm gonna look here at the heavy weapons and see which one's the cheapest. Or I'm gonna do something I normally don't do because we don't have enough credits. We're We're gonna say I have 1,000 credits. So let me open up my calculator again. We're gonna put in 1,000. So this heavy carbine, right here, I'm gonna go and write that on my character sheet, and that goes right down here, and it goes right here. Say weapon name, skill, damage, crit, range, and what special skills it has. So let's come in here. I'm gonna put B carbine. Right, skill is heavy. Damage is 9. Crit is 3. Range is medium. And it has a stun setting. And this cost, I believe, 700. No. It cost 850, so I'm going to subtract 850. We have 150 left. Let's see if I can buy some armor. If not, I might actually give myself some armor just to have protection. Because usually, I let my friends go all out. And if they can't afford a weapon or armor, I will, give them the cheapest one possible. Which I can get for myself. Cool. So, we're going to subtract 50. Because we're going to buy that heavy clothing. It adds 1 to the soak value. We're going to 4. We're going to go to the next page here. I'll show you where we're going. We're going to come down to this right here. So, I have to write carbine. And then heavy clothing. Alright. So it costs 50 credits. I guess I should zoom in on this and show you guys the tree for this. So we have heavy clothing right here. And then we have our defense. So I didn't get into what the dice do yet, because I'm going to show you that here in a minute when I run and do a trial run of combat, which I may or may not survive from. Next you have soak. And again, soak, say if I got hit with 5 damage, currently I would subtract 4 from that and only take 1 damage. Then we have price, encumbrance, hit or hard points, not hit points. So that's what the HP stands for in the weapons, is hard points. It's the same premises. It's just that's how many mod slots it has. And next, rarity. Don't have any of that jazz. So that's cool. Now we can look at gear if we wanted to. Normally I give everybody a comm link. I usually give them a handheld one, and this is all other things you can buy, depending on what you want to do. We're not going to worry about any of that right now. Oh, wait. I might get the utility belt. That's not what I'm looking for, is it? Yeah, it is. So, this is that same page. And utility belt is what I'm looking for. Right here, 25. So we have 75 credits. of the... Oh, not comm device, comm link. I don't know what I'm thinking about right now. Comm link, handheld. Alright. We have... Where's my credits? And somewhere on there you write credits. Now the other thing you can do with your character, because most people do this right here. You have your gender, your age, your height, your build, your hair, your eyes, and any other notable feature. And then if you ever get severely injured, you put it right here. And if you get traits from your class, you put it in that spot right there. Now what we're going to do, run through a basic combat. And what I have to do... There it is, adversaries. Military. Hey, there we go. So what we're going to fight is an Imperial Army trooper, and I'm going to go get my card for it. Because we're going to use it as a group of 3. Here is what that card looks like. Can't really see what it is that well, but it's the same as where it says on the book there. I just want to get it and show it off because I like these cards. I need to get more so I don't have to constantly be flipping through books, but you guys will not be seeing this anymore. You will be seeing this right here. This is my dice app. So the way we use this is you look at your skill for your ability score. So, for example, the Stormtrooper here has 2 agility and range heavy, range light. So that's 1 in each. So I do 1 yellow, 1 green, and depending on the difficulty, 2 purple. And here's what I was going to explain about all the dice. So let me clear all that. Let me put all the dice in one at a time. Green is your standard unnatural or untrained skilled dice. That is the dice you put in for all of your characteristics. Now, if you're trained in an ability, you get that yellow dice. Each yellow dice equals 1 rank of said ability. Now let's say you get something that benefits you in combat. You'll get that white dice. It's a whitish blue. That's what you'll get. That is the 3 dice that benefit you. Once you enter combat, you'll have a difficulty level. That is what the purple will be for. If you're doing a skill and it is going against, let's say, somebody's defense value, or not a skill, but if you're attacking and they have a defense rating, you get a red dice, if I remember right. The red dice is the same as the yellow dice, which means there's more chance for success on the yellow, failure on the red. And then the black dice is in case there's some kind of negative effect working against you. And lastly, at the beginning of the game, everybody rolls that big white dice. In the game, you get a chance to see how many force points will be available for the players or the dungeon master or game master. So we're going to put that in and we're going to roll. Since it's only me, when I'm not playing as this character we created, we have 1 dark side point, which means if a roll goes bad, I can spend that 1 dark side point, re-roll the dice, and then it changes to a light side point. Alright. So, let's set the scenario. We land our YT 1300. Actually, no. You land a Y-wing in a spaceport that's right out on the edge of town. We get out. Our job is to go into town and meet a contact. So we get out of the ship. We make our way through the spaceport. As we come out to the outside, there's a patrol going on. So we're hiding on the interior. That's what I decided to do, is like hide in the corner, right on the edge of the door, so nobody can see me, but I can see the stormtroopers out there. There's 3 of them. And with that, I'm going to decide I'm going to shoot them from cover where I can see them. Alright? So their soak value is 5 for 1 storm. Oh wait, hold on. That's the minion character. Where's the other one? I want the harder difficulty one. There it is. Right there. So, for 1 single stormtrooper, their soak and wound threshold is 5 for each. We are going to have 3 of them. So it'll be 15 total, if I'm remembering how to do this right. So they will have 3 ranks in heavy, and they will be using their blaster rifle, and we will be using our carbine. So our agility score is 4. So we have 4 green dice. Our range heavy is trained 1. So I don't know why I'm pointing at that. I forgot that you guys can't see it. So we're going to remove 1 of those green dice, add a yellow dice in. We're undercover, and we're surprising them, so I'm giving us a blue dice. And then we're going to add 2 purple for the difficulty. It's a standard difficulty for a standard shot. And then we're going to roll. Now we have 5 successful hits and 1 bonus symbol. So let's count this up first. So looking at the skill, or the carbine, of 9 damage plus 5, so that's 14. But we have a crit of 3. So I forgot to show you this real quick. Where's combat? I know it's in here. Conflict and combat. Critical injuries. So they have 1 hit point left. Usually when this happens, I let the player character be like, hey, they're severely wounded, but I want to make sure I go through this right. So this is the critical injury chart. So we got a crit. We gotta now see. I think it's this one. Yeah, that's the hundreds. We need 200. Actually, I'll turn all these on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to roll. Okay, yeah, that's right. I'm going to put 10 of these in. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What this is doing is we have 200 total. Actually, we only need 150, but I'm putting 200 in just so I can get this effect across. What we're going to do is we're going to roll now. We got 73. So now we got to come to this chart. Alright, 73 falls between 71 and 75. The target loses his free movement until the end of the encounter. Okay, well, his free movement would be to turn around and attack us. But we kind of made it so he can't turn around, because so he's kind of like wounded there. He can't move. So we are going to attack again. Alright, wrong dice. 1, 2. And we're gonna roll. And we got 13 this time with a shield, so a negative action happened. And then we get a lightsaber. And what I'm gonna do is, so we're gonna handle the good first. The good is we kill him. He gets another crit, but since he's dead, we don't have to worry about that. The dice. That's what I wanted to show. Triumph. That's what we're looking for. So, the Triumph. So we did 14 damage again, because each Triumph counts as a successful hit. Pretty much, it's a good thing. It's beneficial. And the thing to go with the dice is they tell a story. That's like the easiest way I can explain it. So the GM would tell you what they can do, and so on and so forth. I know it's kind of not really helping with this currently. So yeah, 15. That's what I thought. Oh, that's a sergeant. Okay. So we killed 3 stormtroopers in 2 blasts. The first blast killed 2 of them. But the negative that happened is, let's say another group of stormtroopers came up. We didn't see them because they were already inside, so they're going to shoot us. So, we got 1, 2, 3. This is where I might die. Oh, wait. I rolled that wrong. I need with this, too. They get 3 successes. And here's one of the other house rules I do. You get 2 successes. You can attack again without wasting any strain. Usually, I think it costs 2 strain to attack again, and this opens up for my players to really shine, because a lot of them like combat. So that's what I do. I'm gonna roll again, and they did. How much damage is a rifle? 10 damage to me. So I would take 6 damage. Now, I turn around. Like, oh my god, I'm a little flustered because I got shot. So I'm not getting any bonuses on this. So I roll. I do 11 damage. And I get 2 negatives. So I kill 2 of them. Damage 1. No, the last one. So he's down to 4 HP. My negative is my gun jam. So I lose my next opportunity to attack. So we're going to come in here. Actually, they get the same roll I get. Because it's only 1 left, they don't get 3 marks in range heavy. They roll. They get 10 damage. So 6, 4, 20. 20, so I would have 2 left, that'd be 18. Okay, both of us don't get attacked this next round, so then it comes back to me. And I do 9, 10, 11 damage. I have 3 wings. Wings you can use, like I said, to attack again if you would like, or do something else. And what I'm going to do is when I go to attack, I shoot him, and I roll up, and I try to grab his rifle out of his hand, in case he lives, because I don't know. Or no, not that. I shoot him, and while I'm shooting, I'm jumping out backwards into the street, so I have to roll an athletics check with that as well. I succeed, but as I hit the ground, I bump my head and I take 1 more damage, which my soak value is 4, so it doesn't hurt me. And we killed the last guy. That is a simple round of combat. This has been an hour-long process, creating the character, showing you how the game works, showing you my house rules, so I hope you guys enjoyed. And I hope you like that new little logo I made. So don't forget to like, comment, share, and if you enjoy videos like this, don't forget to check the links down below. You have Patreon, so if you want to join my Discord, do a 1 month or 1 time a month gaming event, which could be this, if everybody's up for it. You can also become a mod on my stream and be a host by my stream. And what else is it? I think one of the rewards is you can ask me questions once a week, and I'll answer them in a podcast on Soundcloud. And the lowest possible reward, which is $1, can get you into my Discord chat, where you can chat with me throughout the day. And the last thing is, don't forget to check out the Extra Life link down below the video, because that helps out kids that are stuck in hospitals all day, and it gets them something to do. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, share on YouTube, on Twitch. Just make sure you share it. Hit that follow button. Both places, make sure, if you want to, hit the subscribe on YouTube. And if you can afford it on Twitch, hit that subscribe as well. Help support the channel in any way possible. And do not forget to turn on notifications. Have a wonderful night.